This chapter finally rocks versus Emu. This is going to be the crazy one. So chapter begins and a young Loki sits all alone in the wilderness right in the heart of a blizzard. He tells the group of onlookers that this is indeed Elbaf, but his father isn't here. He is out on an expedition. He comments on how small humans are, noting he has never seen them before. They really move around like rats. Instead of being frightened, they find it adorable and wonder if he is talking about Harold and if he is Harold's child. Rox smiles, saying that even on an expedition he should be able to get in touch with his father. He asks for his name, and Loki introduces himself. Rox tells him that he'll have to do whatever he says. He needs to run back home and get someone to get in touch with his old man and pass along a message. The message is that Loki is gravely injured and he needs to return to Elbaf at once. This infuriates Loki, since when does he have to listen to what tiny little humans have to say? In a fit of rage, he is about to strike Rox, saying that his dad won't come back even if he gets hurt, so he should stop ordering him around. Rox, on the other hand, is ready to throw hands. His sword attacks are famous for blasting through everything, like a gigantic hammer or a cannonball, and sure enough, Rox slams his sword into Loki's stomach, causing him to wince in pain. Rox just laughs, like an abusive drunk uncle visiting for Thanksgiving. He smiles, saying that now it's true that Loki has gotten hurt. This madman had once crossed Harold's path. A year ago at the Riviera, the 5 kings were under attack inside a large palace. Everyone holds the opinion that it's an abduction attempt, and they are being taken by a large man dressed in black. A mysterious figure turns to the gardens and looks at butterflies fluttering around. In a stoic voice, the figure says that the lives of kings hold no threat to Mu. Another onlooker says that the Holy Lands are in panic, an anomaly that was never repeated before or ever since this happened. Infiltrated in the Chamber of Flowers at the very core of the Holy Land, one priestess falls silent as the dark figure looks at them with cold and calculating eyes. The man is known as a worshipper of Davy Jones, and he did not do anything more than infiltrate, and he knew he couldn't do anything else. But when he departed, he left a warning that he would be back. This infuriates the dark figure. Naturally, word of this disaster was kept under wraps and never revealed to the public. But one other man had infiltrated the Holy Land at the same time. A group of celestial dragons is going crazy over a man bigger than a giant. They desperately want to enslave him as their personal boy toy, though one of them wants to have him killed and stuffed for display. The guards scurry about to protect the celestial dragons as a gigantic man runs through the palace while he is on fire. He yells that he is incredibly hot and he is sorry for passing through. Everyone mistakes him for the king abductor, but he desperately tries to clear his good name, saying he is not. One of them runs towards him, saying that their admirals have been defeated and his attacker is in the palace. The celestial dragons wonder what all of this commotion is about. They want the big one as a trophy. The gigantic man grits his teeth in frustration, realizing that this other guy must be responsible for kidnapping the kings, and he is not going to take the fall for him. It turns out that the other guy is Rox, and he can't believe that a giant is in the Holy Lands. Is this guy lost or something? The giant brandishes his sword and tries to strike Rox, but Rox proves his guts and parry the blow with his own sword. They both struggle against one another, and sparks fly everywhere as they are both thrown in opposite directions. They are ready to clash again, and Rox admires the newcomer, asking him for his name. The giant of a man laughs, saying that he is Harold. Rox introduces himself, and he tells Harold to aim for the town. If they capture them, they will be turned into slaves. Harold can't believe what he is hearing. They need to raze the city to the ground. Rox desperately tries to get him on board. Harold wonders which way is Elbaf. Rox decides to hitch a ride on his shoulder, saying that the new world is the other way. He laughs, promising to meet again if they manage to get out of here alive. Harold leaps from a cliff top, saying that he doesn't mingle well with villains. The Navy admirals that Rox had just struck down died of their wounds, despite the best medical care available. And after the crimes he committed that day, his name was forever etched into infamy, and his deeds brought all of the world into a complete standstill. Sometime later, he even attacked a ship full of heavenly tributes going toward sacred Mariwa. Not only did he destroy the gates of justice and flee again, but with the ship and the money as his startup, he decided to form a pirating gang. His activities were always hostile towards the world government, and his first target was actually another pirate ship. In the pirate world, there exists a famous and merciless game that is played between the crews. Davy Jones always inspired them to create the Davy back fight, which has a lot of competition in which pirates gamble the fate of crewmates and flags. Rock used that game to assemble a very solid lineup for himself. A strong team that could rival the gods. At that point, his crew of misfits would arrive at Elbaf at the castle that stood on a cliff top. A voice tells them that he hurried back as soon as he could, and is he really healed up? Harold smiles, looking at little Loki, saying that he is very strong, but he should stay away from trouble. Rox booms into the room, telling him to join his crew. The world government is not going to hear him out anyway. Harold tells him that that's nonsense. The day he teams up with a band of bandits is the day hell freezes over because his allies will lose faith in them. The rocks remind him that he is lucky that he only fell from a cliff the last time they escaped. There are a lot of dangers surrounding him. Loki, on the other hand, still can't believe that his father came back. He wonders if it's only a coincidence, as it can't be, that he is back to see him. A delicious banquet is spread out for the rock pirates, and Harold tells him to state his reason for the visit. Rox just wants to greet him, saying that he just wants to catch up. The entire crew is in a festive mood, and everyone starts eating. They can't believe how huge the King of Elbaf is. One of them wonders if they really want to bring the world government to its heel. Another one says that they are trying to avoid it, but everyone is fighting to be equals. One of them reminds Harold that he comes from a nation of mighty warriors, the Giants, and anyone who doesn't see eye to eye with them, he can just smash them to bits and pieces. This infuriates Harold, and he yells that that is ancient history. Their nation is on the verge of a revolution. But Rox argues that people's nature can't change, and he knows that the warrior blood flowing through his veins is bubbling over. Edward, on the other hand, just wants to eat in peace, but Harold yells, "How can they follow such a violent man who will bring them to disaster?" Mobster laughs, saying that they are all here out of their own free will. If Rox dies, it won't affect the rest of their lives. Miss Buchan sips her wine elegantly, saying that his plan is very appealing to her, and they are set on making a killing. Don Marlin smokes his cigarette in peace, telling him that the pirate island is actually an island full of exiles. They ship out all the hardened criminals there because countries can't handle them. Tells them that it is supposed to be a deserted island without food, and they condemn the criminals to death. Wang Ji, future commodore of Private Pirate Island, tells them that in recent years they have survived and built up a settlement there, and how does he think that happened? The pirate smuggler laughs while gobbling up all the food in front of him, saying that there is a gold mine under the island. When the criminal underworld found out, they rushed to help mine it, and the prisoners have made a fortune. The government is now seeing red, but the island is full of guards and ragtag groups of pirates. Anyone who dares to wander around it will be robbed blind. Rox explains that they made a deal with the government. If they can get back to the island, they will want a commission, and if they are willing to pay up, then they will go raid the island and split the treasure between them, but they won't be giving the island back to the government or the prisoners. Rox laughs, saying that he is going to rule over that island, and he will get the idiots who live there to help him build a pirate paradise. He tells them that he is waiting to see the world government's and navy's face. Rox laughs hysterically, saying that this is the epiphany of his life. With that island as his base, he will wipe out the navy and bring the Holy Land to its knees. In the end, he will be king of the world. Harold looks at Rock as if he is someone straight out of the loony bin. He can't believe that Rox is willing to make an enemy out of the entire world. It's too much to process. But Rox tells him to doubt him as much as he wants. Sooner or later, he will prove that no authority in the world can outlast forever. They need to team up and become unstoppable. But Harold is not too enthusiastic about his little business deal. Loki, on the other hand, is excited. He feels the warrior of blood pumping through his veins, burning. His whole outlook on the world is changing at this very moment. 4 years later, after Harold had ignored repeated invitations, Rock finally carried out his plan. The formidable lineup that joined him caused the world to shake with terror.